The inventory options which come with our products as well. Okay, so there's quite a few options that we have. So going back to the suitcase that we created in the previous video, about halfway down we have this tab which is inventory. So this is where we can decide how we want to deal with stock, how we want to deal with how our customers can order a particular product. You'll notice that there's these blue tick boxes that say use config settings, and when those are ticked we can't access the option that it's related to. Okay, so those are grayed out. If we untick it, we can override it. But what is this use config setting and where does it come from? Well, we can see that we've got things like manage stock is set and when the quantity goes out of stock and what the maximum quantity that we're allowing in a cart for any one particular item is. And that is actually defined by going into system configuration, and if you look under the catalog part of the configuration, you'll see there's an inventory option. Within that inventory option we've got product stock options, and this defines what the default of our inventory setup is. Okay, so when we untick that use config settings tick box, we're overriding what we've said in here. Okay, so let's go back to the product and have a look at some of those. Okay, back to inventory. So the first one, manage stock. So at the moment it's saying yes, I want to manage stock, and what that effectively means is we've got stock quantity here. If someone buys one of these items, then the stock is depreciated by 1. Okay, so that would then, when we come back after that purchase, that would be down to 19, right? So that's what manage stock means effectively. And also if someone returns an item and we decide to put it back into stock, it will increase the stock quantity. If I don't, for a particular product, have any stock to manage, I can override that. So I can untick the use config settings and set that to no. And now what we've got here is basically there's no stock quantity on there, and there's a few other options we can deal with, but there's no stock quantity. Let's put that back to yes. Okay, we've then got the quantity, so that's the stock quantity that we currently have for this product. Right, quantity for item status to become out of stock. So we may, for example, have a bricks and mortar store and our online store, and they use the same pool of stock. We might want to make sure that we always have some stock in the shop. So in which case we might decide that for this particular item we only want 2 items. We want the stock to be marked on the system as out of stock when it gets down to 2. So that means there's still 2 on the shelves that we can sell to our customers in the shop, but they're not in stock on the website. Okay, I'll leave that as it is. We've got a minimum quantity allowed in the shopping cart. Quite useful for B2B type websites where you don't want people just buying one of this and one of that. So we may insist that they have to buy at least 5. Okay, if they don't buy 5, then they can't buy the item. So let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to save and continue. Okay, go to the product. All right, we've got a quantity of 5 there, and if I try and take that down to 1 and add it, okay, it's actually added 5. All right, so it's not allowed me to add just one of those products. Okay, I'll go back to using the default. Okay, then we have maximum quantity, so that's the opposite end of the scale. So we wouldn't allow someone to put more than 10,000 in. I think that's just a safety net figure. The likelihood of someone buying more than 10,000 of a product is probably highly unlikely, and you probably wouldn't want to stop them if you did, but probably just safe to leave that figure as it is. Okay, then we have quantity uses decimals. So if you do have products that can be split, then you can request the customer puts them in decimal points. So if I was to say yes to that, second question comes up, which is asking whether you want to divide that into multiple, can be divided into multiple boxes for shipping. So that's whether you're happy to do that. So if I just save and continue this, and let's have a look at what that looks like. Okay, so back to our luggage item. Okay, we've got a quantity here. So now what I can do is I could say 1.5 as a quantity and add that to the cart. And you can see there that it's added 1.5. Now, item of luggage, highly unlikely you want someone buying half an item of luggage, but demonstrates that you can actually do that. Okay, so I'm going to set that to no for this particular product. Right, then we've got this here, back orders. Okay, let's untick that. 3 options here, no back orders, allow quantities below 0, and then allow quantities below 0, but notify the customer. Back orders are when the product goes out of stock, but you still want to be able to take orders for it. So if you want to allow to take back orders, then when the product does come back into stock, then you can go and fulfill the order for the customer. So really the 2 main options, I mean, no back orders means that once the product goes out of stock, it's marked as out of stock and the buy now button will disappear. So customer can't buy it. But if you have this allow quantity below 0 or allow quantities below 0 and notify customer, the customer can still place the order. The differences with the 2 is this one, allow quantities below 0, the customer will be none the wiser that this is being back ordered. So if you know that you can get that product very quickly and there's no need to alarm the customer that something's going to be back ordered, meaning that they might pull out the purchase, then by all means do that. What I would say though is if there's any chance that there is a delay and you may upset a customer by not managing their expectations, and I'll do the allow quantity below 0 and notify the customer, and that will tell the customer at the checkout, before they actually go through the checkout process, that the item is going to be back ordered. So the customer is fully aware that there may be a delay on that item, and in which case they're less likely to come back and complain if there's a bit of a delay on that. So notifying the customer is probably the best thing to do, but obviously if you know you've got a quick turnaround on that, then you might get away with just not notifying the customer. Let me show you what that looks like. So let's take a product down to 0, but making sure we leave it in stock. And if I allow the quantity below 0 and notify the customer, and I'll just empty this cart here. Okay, back to our luggage item. Okay, it is saying it's in stock, but if I add it to the cart, it's now saying that the item is not available in the requested quantity, and one will be back ordered, which is the amount we've ordered. So the customer's being informed at that point before they then proceed to the checkout. So they can change their mind if they want to, but at least if they do change their mind, they're not as annoyed with you as they would be if they ordered it and it takes several weeks to arrive. Okay, then we've got this here, notify for quantity below. This is purely for reporting purposes. So I could put a number there of 5 in, and what that relates to is a report over here, which is low stock products. So as soon as a product hits the threshold here or goes below it, then that will be reported in the low stock product. And so I can then make a decision of whether I need to restock, whether I need to order some more in. Right, enable quantity increments. If I set this to yes, what I can say here is that this product can only be purchased in increments of X. So if I say 5 and save that, okay, and I'll just trash that. What you will see now is luxury suitcases available purchases in increments of 5. So if I try and put 4 in, it's not going to let me. It tells me I have to put 5 in. So if I put 5 in, that's fine. I've got 5 in there. Let me just trash that and do that again. And this time I'll try with, let's say, 14. Once again, it's telling me that it can only be purchased in increments of 5. So this time around I put it in 15. And now I have 15 products in there. The final one is marking whether a product is in stock or not. And if the product is in stock, the purchase button will exist. So let's just go and have a look. Okay, so we've got the add to cart button there. As soon as I put the product out of stock and refresh, okay, the card has gone, the button's gone. So you can have products that have zero stock level or even minus stock level and mark them as in stock, which means that they can still be purchased as long as you allow back orders. But if you want to stop them from being purchased, you can just mark them as out of stock and it will take that particular button away.